The Spoons Sandy Horne talks about dealing with fame in the 80s. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Canada. Remember, if you want to see the entire interview, it's on the Rock History Canada channel. There's also a podcast, links in the description of this video. Also, there's 2 new projects that the Spoons have out where other musicians tip their hat to their music, and also another great project from the band. Go to spoonsmusic.com. There'll be links in the description of this video. Here's Sandy Horne of the Spoons. When you get that kind of fame and all of a sudden, or like instead of one door opening, slowly 5 doors are opening. How did you take it emotionally? Were you able to like, okay, you're done with the gig, you're in your bedroom, could you sleep? Was there a part of you going like, what the hell?
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on. I still get it after a big show. We just recently did the Alamo Combo. The reopening just happened. It was just been refurbished by Michael Weckerly, and he invited us to do our release party for our repeatable 40th anniversary and the new echoes of artists doing our material for the Unison Fund. I guess we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, it was a fabulous show. Kind of broke a few of the rules, I think, the audience, as far as the capacity and keeping masks on and so forth. Because once you have a drink in your hand, you don't have a mask, right? But it was fun, to say the least. And nobody that we know of ever came back saying they'd gotten sick. So that was a good thing. But it was out of the park. And now we've got it. We had Weckerly taped it for us and recorded it for us. So we're hoping to put together a 40th release at the Alamo Combo, DVD, online stream, whatever.
You mentioned Japan a while ago, and I mean, David Sylvian, I discovered when I was playing New Age music, believe it or not, in the mid 80s. I went from rock and roll with that show, and I started playing New Age music, and then I started getting into like David Sylvian's solo stuff, and that kind of the way he sang. He was in his own lane in some ways, and I realized he had influenced an awful lot of people. With the first album, I think Gordon had said that there was more to the band going into the second. He just wanted to make sure that was more, the next album would be more representative of the band. Was that a vibe that everyone felt?
Well, for sure, because when we came from Trist, we had a previous drummer named Peter Shepard, and he went off to college, university somewhere. And then just before we were about to record Stick Figure Neighborhood, which Brett Wickens helped co-write and put together, Brett decided he wanted to go back to England because he's British and become an album. Well, he's into art, so he wanted to be an album cover designer and so forth, and already landed a few jobs for that. So he left to go to England, and in came Rob Pruce. Now, he was a lot younger than us, and at that time, younger seemed like a lot by 2 or 3 years, but now
Sure.
It means nothing. But, he was still in high school. He was 15. And he never went back to high school once Novahart took off. He had to do it, virtual, not virtual, but, online, and finish his high school degree by mail because we were so busy. But by the time he came in on Stick Figure Neighborhood, by the time he came along, we had Derek and we had Rob. Derek we got from high school as well. He was from the high school band where Gordon and I came from, and he joined the band. So by the time we got to Arias and Symphonies and Novahart and so forth, the band had started to work together. We were seeing each other's good things that could be contributed from both sides. And that's when we started to really formulate, because Stick Figure Neighborhood would have been a collage of our leftover Trist days trying to formulate into. So we kind of had like a punky, I don't know what you want to call it, proggy sound at that time.
Rob put up, you've probably seen the video of you guys still living at home at Burlington, the TV commercial where you're performing on YouTube, and they're saying, "Oh, they're still living at home," and they're really coming. And I was looking at, I remember seeing that, my reaction not only to that video but other videos of going, Sandy had great hair back then, and she still has great hair now. That's all I have to say.
Well, thank you.
Was that, my wife has this picture upstairs back when she was doing like beauty queen stuff, and she only did it once, but she's got like 3 cans of hairspray in her hair. It's big hair. It's the 80s. When in Rome, that's what everyone did back then.
Yeah.
How long did that take to prepare? That was the best hair. As Earl Seymour would say from the Arrows, he would say, it's not hair, it's a love sculpture.
It's yeah, exactly. And it's also 10 years of Halloween. That's what we refer to the 80s as 10 years of Halloween, where the guys were wearing guy liner and
oh my God, yeah.
yeah, well, it would be we're getting ready for a show, and I get myself ready, and I'd leave my little makeup area, and then in would pop Rob, in would pop Gord, in pop Derek. Even if they're putting foundation on and a little bit of liner, but then some of them got into shadows and everything else, and I'm like, hey guys, contamination. Really? Can you go get your own? Well, yeah. I can't go and buy my own. Well, tell me what you want. I'll go get it for you. The hair, Joyco.
Oh, yes.
That was the magic stuff, the spray and the gel. It was glue forever. In fact, I could do a show, sleep, have a flat spot, get up and go 2 minutes. It was the first day that was the hardest. The third day was so easy to do your hair. And then you'd have to wash it because then it was just like too much. You got to start from scratch.
It was crazy. People sometimes they criticize the 80s and go, why would you? We had so much going on there was so many genres, so many different people. I know there was a lot of one-hit wonders, but it doesn't matter. It was all music, but there's so many genres going on. And people just remember the big drums sometimes. I'm going, no, man, there was a cavalcade of freaking sounds that came out of the 80s.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. I mean, you still had the rock, you still had the punk going on. We were one of the earliest bands to introduce drum machines, the hand claps for Nova Heart and so forth. And we were the first ones to figure out, okay, how do we create that sound live? It's all great and dandy to have it recorded and playing on the radio, but now how do we play this live? So we didn't have what we have now, where we have laptops and we have main stage and, we can run tracks and click tracks for the drummer and keep everybody tight together. We had reel-to-reel tape that just had the hand claps going, and certain things we couldn't make that was playing in the background that Derek would get in his headphones, and then we'd have to play with the drummer. So whatever speed the drummer was, that's the way we went. Yeah.
Reel-to-reel tapes.
Yep.
Remember, links to all the new Spoons music in the description of this video. I want to thank Sandy, and if you want to see the entire interview, well, it's also in the links of this video. It's on this channel, and there's a podcast, and there'll be links for you there as well. Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Canada.